So, first of all, let's have a small introduction of what this particular webinar is about. So, Sri, can you please?
Yeah, the way we access information has completely changed over these last 2 to 3 years. People don't have time,
Yes.
so they need information as quickly as possible with minimal effort. Now, so traditional websites, multi-page websites, etc., have become redundant because people don't have time to go through pages to get what they want. So, with Google and embedded Google search mechanism, we used to have a way by which we could search through the web pages. But that
Okay.
also is not enough, because if those pages don't have exactly matching questions from the user, those pages won't be noticed, or those pages won't be appearing in the search results. So this is where AI and AI-based chatbots are critical. So a single page or a multi-page website, if you place an intelligent chatbot, anything that the user wants, they can ask. And the chatbot is intelligent enough to understand the web pages and the knowledge base of that organization, that website owner's company, and provide relevant information to the user. In case the questions are unanswered or not answerable, that can also be addressed intelligently, sensibly.
Yeah,
So,
that
th-
is the key
so
thing here, right? Intelligence. In the
exactly.
old systems, intelligence is something which is lacking, and with the help of new improvements in AI technologies, etc., intelligence is something which is becoming a reality and becoming a must for in every field in the world right now.
Exactly. And before this AI chatbot, we used to have flowchart based chatbot, where you decide how a customer will come and how they will navigate, and the types of questions they are expected to ask. Based on that, you prepare a flowchart and apply to a chatbot. So those, you may have seen on a phone-based IVR, if you want this, press
Yeah.
this, if you want this, press this. So that type of chatbot used to be there in website, but it is very tedious to make and very tedious to make changes to it.
Yeah,
So
also, and those are using technologies of that time, right? So now
exactly.
technology has evolved. So
Yes.
accordingly, the application should also evolve.
Yes. So present day AI chatbot, what Abhi is going to demonstrate, the effort involved in programming the chatbot is minimal. Only what you need to do is to ensure that every information that you want the customer to get should be placed in some common place, which chatbot can access to. Yeah, Abhi, you can continue.
Yeah, thanks, Sri. So, like Sri mentioned, today our webinar will be structured in such a way that initially I'll give a short demonstration on how we can start working with a chatbot, how to create chatbot, etc. Because, like Sri mentioned, creating chatbots nowadays is not that like difficult. So, if you have some knowledge about like what you want or some idea about what you want, you should be able to use different tools to perform the operation. Like you have different tools like Voiceflow, WordPress. There are lots of tools, and if that is not enough, you can also create your own chatbot with custom programming language if you have the expertise. So initially what we'll be doing is we'll be seeing how we can create a simple chatbot using the voice flow system. So once you have an account with voice flow, how to create a very simple chatbot is what we'll be seeing, and then we'll step by step move on to a chatbot with a backend and with a sophisticated backend. So that is the plan for today. So let me just share my screen. So I'll just stop my video and I'm going to share my screen. So let's start with the voice flow. So this is the voice flow interface that we have access to. So once you log into voice flow, this is what you get. So when it comes to voice flow, the chatbot that you will be creating will be termed as an agent. So here you see this new agent button. So this new agent button is what we will use in order to create a chatbot in Voiceflow. So let's go ahead and create a new chatbot and see what we get. So we are going to click new chatbot and you can give a name for your chatbot. So I'm going to give the name as a super agent. Okay, and here you'll be able to select the language. So I'm okay with English. So let's get started. And here, if you want, you will be able to provide a knowledge. But here we are going to create a very simple chatbot first to show you what it is that you need to do to get started. So let's go ahead and skip this particular option so that it will create a very simple chatbot for us, a simple agent for us. So now when you go to this one, so this is the agent dashboard. And here you will be able to see different sections like content. Then you will be able to see the transcripts, which is essentially once you publish your chatbot, you will be able to see the interaction with the chatbot in here. Then you will be able to see the analytics, like how your chatbot performed, how much token usage, etc. happened, etc. Then we have integration. So we'll be able to use this section to configure the chatbot itself, to customize the chatbot and to get the embed code, etc. And we have the settings for the chatbot, the overall generic settings for the chatbot. And inside the content section, that is the main thing that we'll be working on as as someone who is doing the thing. And here you have two sections. One is knowledge and workflow. So these are sections that we'll be working on. Do we need to know programming to use Voiceflow? The answer is no. You don't need to know programming to use Voiceflow because it provides you with a UI-based Civic editor using which you will be able to create chatbots. But if you want to customize it, if you want to extend it to something which will cater to your every need, then little bit of programming if you have, then that will be really beneficial. But to make use of the existing system, you don't have to know the programming, and there are lots of templates, very good templates available. And if you use those templates also, you will have a ready-made chatbot available for you. Okay, so programming as such is not a necessity when it comes to working with this modern tool or modern day chatbot tools. Okay. Okay, so now here we'll come to the knowledge section later on. Let's go to the workflows. So this workflow is where we'll be designing what our agent needs to perform. And here, as you can see, there are some default things that it created when we created a new agent. So we don't want this. So let's do one thing. So we want this particular trigger, which is the start trigger, that will denote the start of our AI chatbot's performance or operation. So let's do one thing. Let's select everything else except for the start trigger and let's delete it. So we don't want this. So let's create a clean slate so that we'll be able to work with it. Okay, so now we have this start trigger available. This particular workflow is available. Now what we need to do is we need to edit this workflow. For my website, will the end user will be redirected to Voiceflow? Will the user know that we are using Voiceflow? Okay, when it comes to integrating the chatbot, you don't actually redirect them to a separate page. So normally what we'll do is we'll be embedding the chatbot as part of the existing website itself. So on the website, bottom right or bottom, you can decide where you want. You'll be able to have a chat bubble. And when they click, you will be able to see a pop-up coming. And there the user will be able to interact with our AI chatbot that is embedded as part of the website. So you don't need a separate redirection to happen in order for your customer to be able to interact with your chatbot. So now let's go ahead and edit this particular workflow. So let's click edit workflow. Okay, and here let me just minimize it. So by default, you can see there is one section that is available as part of this particular workflow. So let's do one thing. Let's remove everything except for the start trigger. So you can just drag and select the entire thing and you can press delete, or you can just use right click and delete. So now this is a clean state. So we have the start intent. So this is the start intent. So let's do one thing. Let's run this and see. So in order to run, you see on top right, see this one. So this is the option that you have using which you will be able to run whatever workflow that you're working on within the chatbot interface itself. So that is what we are going to do now. We are going to run this. So let's click this run option. And here you can see the agent. So if it is a new agent, if it is requiring any training or not, you'll be able to see the option here. And the bottom section, you will be able to have a live running dialogue with your chatbot. So now let's click this run test option. As you can see it is beginning the flow and it is immediately ending the session because we didn't add anything to our start intent. It is just starting and it is stopping. So this is a clean state now. So now let's do one thing. Let's go back to our workflow. Just click back and you'll be able to go to the workflow edit section. So let's do the initial step. Like when a visitor comes to our website, when they click our chatbot, what is it that we want them to see? We want to welcome them, right? So let's add a welcome block to this one. So in order to add any block, there are two options. One is you can just drag and then release and it will show you what are the different options that are available. Or you have the option to select the type. Sorry, select the type from this one. So these are the different sections that we have available. So it is grouped in a really understandable manner. Like if you want to work with AI, then you have this particular grouping. If you want to interact with the customer to provide some information to the customer, you have the talk option. Then listen, if you want to get some input from the customer, then you can use the listen group. Then if you want to perform some logical operations, you can use this logic group. Then if you want to do some custom development or some customizations, you can use this dev. And library means you will be able to use any templates that you have. So you can create your own templates and use those templates as part of your chatbot, of your workflow. So here, let's start with the welcome message. So in order to go to the welcome message, you have to go to this talk and there you see this message option. So this is the one that we want to use. So if you want to add this block, all you need to do is to drag and drop into the workflow. And here you see this particular block. And in Voiceflow, these are the blocks which we have control. So if you want to give a name to the block, just double click and you can add, say, welcome block. So you can give a name. This is just for proper documentation and understanding purpose. So this will not be a factor as such when we actually deploy the chatbot. But this will be better if you have properly name the blocks, etc. So that later on when you look at the workflow, you will understand what it is doing. Okay. So now here, if you click on this, you will be able to see the option to add the message. So here, let me add one welcome message. So I'm going to add, say, hello and welcome to, say, test Inc. Okay, so this is the welcome message that they will get. So I'll just click outside and you can see this is the message that is there corresponding to this particular message block. Now, this is not enough. Even if I run this now, it will start and stop. Why? Because see, this connection is not there. So this start is not connected with the block. So we need to make the connection. So let's go ahead and connect this. So just drag and drop and now it is connected. Now let's go ahead and run this. And if you click run test, you will see it is beginning the flow. And now it is showing the welcome message. See this one? And after that, we didn't do anything. So that is why it is ending the session there itself. Okay, so we did the first step, which is to add a welcome message to our custom chatbot. This looks like traditional flowchart based hardcoded chatbot. Why we need a flow like this?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. This looks like a traditional because we used to have such chatbots some 10 years ago itself, where you can drag and drop and make very nice interactive chatbots. But the major advantage of the present day chatbots, AI based chatbots, are that 20, 30 flowchart blocks you can eliminate by a single AI based block. So it saves a lot of trouble in building the logic, and also it makes it very easy to debug. Okay, so Abhijit is going to walk us through and take us through those steps, and that will become very clear. Okay, continue, Abhijit.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Sri. So, like
Yes.
Sri mentioned, flexibility is a very important advantage that we get with these modern day chatbots. Okay, so now what we have reached is we have added the welcome message. Next, what we want is once we greet them, we want them to be able to communicate with us. So we want a way to capture their response. So in order to capture their response, what we need to do is we need to go to the listen section, and there you see this capture. So this is what we can use to capture the response. So you can just drag and drop, and when you drag and drop, you can also actually add this inside this particular block, or you can keep it outside. So both options are possible. So I'll just add the name as say capture block. So this is to just capture the user response. So now if I click this one, so what is happening? Capture block. So it is capturing the thing. But what we want is we want the captured response to be stored somewhere. Okay. So this will capture the response. So let me just connect this to this one. So this will capture the response that we have available. Now, what we want is what we want to do is we want to actually perform the operation of storing the capture response to a variable. So let's go ahead and do this. So here, if you see this entities, so here you can click create entity. So here I'm going to say last underscore response. Okay, so this is like a custom variable which you will be able to create. So if you want to create, like you have to select the different type of data that you want. But if you don't want to do that, by default, it will be capturing into something called last utterance. So there will be a built-in variable which will be available for you, which is called last utterance. So let's go ahead and add one message block. And here I'm going to add one message block. And here I'm going to say your last message. And if you want to use a variable, you have to use the curly bracket. And here there is something called last utterance. So this is the variable which will contain the last utterance of your user. Okay. So now let's try this and see whether it is working or not. So here, always keep an eye here. If there is any training required, no training required till this point. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, see, it is saying an internal error occurred because see this capture block, it is not storing the information into this last utterance. So let's do one thing. Let me just add the capture block once again. 1 minute. So simply to capture. Okay. Okay, see here you see capture instead of entities, we want to capture the entire user replay. So now when I select that option, you see it is stored to last utterance. And here we are printing the last utterance. So now this information will be stored in this particular variable. So let's go ahead and run this once again. So I'll run this. Okay, so now see after the greeting, it is waiting for the user to respond. So I'm going to say, hello there, I am Afi. And here, this is the message that I gave. And you can see this one, I'm just printing the message as it is. So we have a very simple way to now interact with our customer. So we'll be able to show them a message and they'll be able to respond to us with that particular message. Okay, so this is a very simple setup. Now, what we want is let's go ahead and add an AI, like Sri mentioned at the beginning. The difference between the older flowchart based chats and the modern day chatbots is the availability of intelligence. So let's add intelligence to this one. Let's add intelligence to our chatbot. So in order to add intelligence, what we can do is, let's go back to the workflow. Here you have to go to the AI block, like one would expect. And here you see this response AI. So this response AI, using this response AI block, we'll be able to interact with the AI. And here you can see there are two options for the data source. One is AI model, another one is knowledge base. So first, let's see about the AI model. So this AI model will be similar to how you would interact with a chatbot or interact with a chat GPT, where you'll be able to ask one question and chat GPT will be able to answer the question. This will be similar to that. Only you are provided with an interface to perform that operation. So here we will keep the data source as AI model, and then we have to give the prompt using which the AI, or for which the AI should respond to. So I'm going to add, say, respond to the below user query. So I'm going to just add a simple thing, and then I'm going to give the user response. So I'll use last utterance. And this is a very simple prompt that I'm giving to the AI model. So I am telling the AI model to respond to the user query, which is stored in this particular last utterance variable. And here you see this prompt settings. Here you can decide which, say, LLM you want Voiceflow to use. And here there are different options that are available. So let's go with Foro Mini, which is a powerful LLM that is available. And let's keep the default temperature token, everything as default. So temperature means how creative you want the AI to be. So let's keep everything as default. And here, see, system prompt also, system prompt setting also, you'll be able to provide. So let me add, say, you are a helpful assistance or assistant. Sorry. Okay, so this will be a generic thing for the system, and along with the system prompt, this will be given as input to our AI. Okay, so now let's connect this. Always remember to connect it, otherwise it will not work. So let's go ahead and run this. And here there is no training required. I'm going to run this. Okay, so now it is waiting for the question. So I'm going to ask, say, hi, what is the capital of, say, India? So now this is a generic question that I'm asking. Now what it is doing is, it is printing that particular response, and it is giving the response. See this one, the capital of India is New Delhi. So now this response is coming from ChatGPT 4.0 Mini that we have integrated as part of this particular chatbot. So this is how you will be able to add intelligence to your chatbot. Okay, and here you see this is stopping. See, it is ending there. So we don't want that. So let's go to the previous question where user can ask more questions. So let me just give the name here, a block, and here print. So this we don't need. This is just to print, right? So print, say, user response. So this block we actually don't need. Anyway, let it be for our understanding purpose. Now, what we want is, we want the chatbot to wait for the user response. Okay. Now, let me just connect to this one. So I'm going to connect to this capture block. So from this one, I'm going to connect to the capture block. So after answering the question, it will wait for the next question from the end user. Okay. So now let me just run this one. Okay, so now it is waiting. So what I'm going to do is, let me ask the same question. So what is the capital of India? Okay, so now it will print the message, and now it is giving the response. So the response is correct. Now, what if I ask something specific to the company, like, say, who is the CEO of Test Inc? So let me add, so who is your CEO? Now it won't be able to answer. Why? Because this intelligence is provided by the open AI. So here, see this one, the response is coming based on the CEO of OpenAI. So let me just ask, say, who is the, or who are the doctors available. So let's say if it is a dental clinic or any clinic, let's say who are the doctors available. So now this is specific to the business. Now the intelligent or the AI model will not be able to respond to that query because it doesn't have intelligence regarding your organization. ChatGPT doesn't have information about your organization. So that is one of the things that you need to do, which is to customize your chatbot to work with your knowledge. So that is the next step that we need to do, which is to customize your chatbot with custom knowledge, which will be useful for our embedded chatbot. Because see, when you embed a chatbot to your website, it is to provide customers with information about your business. You don't want them to ask generic question within your website, right? So that is what we'll be doing. So this simple chatbot, is it clear? This is a very simple chatbot with intelligence added to it. And you see how easy it is for you to create such a system. Just using the UI, you are able to do that. So this is what is available with the modern day chatbots. Is it clear? Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to see how we can integrate this to our web page. So in order to integrate, what we need to do is, okay, let me just add it in here so that there is no overlapping of the line. Okay, so now you can clearly see that this is going back to the initial block. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to see about integrating this particular chatbot to our website. So let's click on this, and here there are two options. So one is to click publish, but I want to customize it first. So we are going to see how we can customize the chatbot to have a look and feel like how we want it to be. So you can go back and go to the integration section. Okay, and here this installation is what we will be using for embedding, but I'll come to that. So we'll see that a bit later on. What we are interested in is this general section. See this one? This general section is where you will be able to customize your chatbot. So you can give a name for the chatbot. Say, I'm going to say my awesome agent. And you can see this one on the right side. It is a preview of the changes. So you can see the change happening. Then description, I'm going to keep it as it is. This is the chat persistence. We'll keep that also as it is. Now comes the appearance. So you can also customize the appearance of this particular chatbot. So here you can specify a color code. So I'm going to use a different color code. See this one? Based on the color code, the color is changing. And I can upload a new image also. So if I want like launcher image, I want to keep it as it is. Let me upload the image. Okay, so here this is the logo that I am going to use, say testing. So I created one sample testing logo, which I am going to upload. See, now it is uploaded, and on the right, do you see this? It has updated the image. So here this avatar also, let me just update. So I'll use the same image. Okay, voila. See this? Now the avatar image also has changed. So this is how you can customize your chatbot, the look and feel of your chatbot. So now that we have customized the chatbot, let's do one thing. Let's integrate this particular chatbot with a custom HTML page. So I have one HTML template that I have available, I created here. So what I'll do is so this is the template that we are going to use. And once you open the template, you can rename it to say index.html or something like that. And here I have my index.html file open. So now we are going to see how we can integrate the chatbot to this one. Okay, so in order to integrate, all you need to do is go to the integrations and go to the installation section. And here you will see the embed code. So this JavaScript or this HTML code is what we need to add in order to embed this particular chatbot to our page. So any page. So I'm just using an index.html page. So if you have your own custom website, you can embed it inside that as well. So I'm going to copy this one. So you can just click this and copy the entire code. I'm going to add it here and I'm going to save this. Okay. So now this is my HTML and you can see this is without the integration of chatbot. So now I'm going to refresh this and you see this right side, this bottom chat bubble. So now if I click this, see this one here, do you see the customization is not there? That is because in order for your changes to be visible, you need to first publish it. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go back to content, go to workflows and click publish. So after any change that you make, if you want that to be live, you need to publish it. So only after publishing, it will be available or it will be delivered to the end user. So now let me just refresh this and see the color has changed. And if I click, you can see the overall look has changed. Okay. Now I'll be able to ask, like, say, who is the CEO of, say, Apple Inc. Sorry. And let's see. Okay, so now only it started. So let me ask who is the CEO. And you can see this one, CEO of Apple Inc. is Apple Cook. Sorry, Tim Cook. So now let me ask some specific question related to the business. So say, what are your working hours? So now this is a business specific query. And let's see what message that we are getting. And here's this one. This is the query that is coming from ChatGPT. So it is not our organization's query. So that is the next thing that we are going to do. So we don't want our chatbot to be generic, to provide generic information. We want the chatbot to provide specific information related to our organization, our business. So that is where custom knowledge base will come in the picture. So if you go back here, I told you in the content section, you have the knowledge section, right? So let's see how we can add a knowledge based on our organization, our custom knowledge to this particular chatbot that we have created. So that is what we are going to do next, which is to add knowledge. So for that, go to the content section and click on knowledge. And there you will be able to see the option add data source. See, the knowledge that you want to add, you will be able to add it in different formats. So if you click on add data source, you see the different options that you have available. So one is URL. So you can give a URL which will contain the information about or the knowledge about your business, which you want to use as the data source. If you want to provide the sitemap, then you'll be able to provide that. If you want to upload PDF, TXT or doc file, you can do that, or you can even give plain text data as the input. And you can also integrate it with other tools like Zendesk. So here, let's try with a very simple knowledge base. So I'm going to go with plain text. So I want to type the knowledge base as it is. So I'm going to say just in case a popular software company and our location is say Miami, US. So I'll give some dummy information and I'll say our office timings are Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to say 5 p.m. Okay, so I'll just give, this is just 3 lines of data as the knowledge base. Okay, so I'm going to import this. So now I am providing this particular knowledge to my chatbot. Okay, so now if you click on the preview, you will be able to query that particular knowledge base. But since it is straightforward, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and publish this. So let me just go to edit workflow. I am going to publish this once again. Remember, always publish this, otherwise it will not be able to get the information. Before it works, we need to make one more change in our workflow, because currently our workflow is querying the ChatGPT. So we need to update the prompt so that it will be able to query the knowledge base. So that is the change that we want to make. So what we are going to do is, in order to query the knowledge base, we have to change our A block to use the data source as knowledge base. So earlier we used A model. Now we have to change it to knowledge base. See this one? And here query, I'll just use the last utterance, the user's last utterance as the query that I wanted to use. Okay. So I am not providing any instruction. I'm just giving the question that the user asked. And here, if you want, you can also give any instructions that you want to give to that particular system. And if you want to override the prompt settings, you can see the override prompt settings option. So here, one thing what we should do is we should reduce the temperature. So currently temperature is 0.7. So we should make it a bit lower. So maybe like a 0.1, so that it will not be too creative, because we want the information to be relevant based on whatever knowledge that we are providing. So here, let me just add a bit more in the system prompt. So I'm going to add, I'm going to say provide responses based strictly on the information in this, say, knowledge base, so that it will only answer based on the knowledge base. So here we don't want this particular response. This is just printing the last message. So let me just delete that. So we don't want that. And here, from this particular capture block, I am sending the query to, this one, and from the, it will give the response based on the knowledge base. See, this is the knowledge base that we have available. So if you want, you can connect it back to the capture block so that it can continue asking the question. So let me just do one thing. So I'm going to connect it back. So now this is connected back, and you can see there is one not found option also. So if the response is not available, the response to the user query is not available in the knowledge base, what should it do? So here you can add maybe a message. So I'm going to add one message, and I'm going to say, apologies, unable to find the information you asked for. Please say try again. Okay, so this is the response it will get, and I can connect it back to the capture block so that it will wait for the next question. So let me just do that, and I'll just move it around so that it will not overlap. Okay, so now we have a system, we have our chatbot, which will be responding based on our custom knowledge base, our business knowledge. And here it is a very simple knowledge base. So let's go ahead and publish this. Okay, so now I published it. So let me just refresh this. And here I'll have to restart. So I'll end chat, then I'll start a new chat. Okay, so here let me ask some question related to the business. Say, what are your working hours? And here, see this one. In my very short knowledge that I provided the working hours of my company as Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and is able to get that information. Let me ask one more question. Say, where are you located? And here, see this one. This is coming from my very short knowledge base. So now let me ask some generic questions, the one that I asked earlier. Say, who is the CEO of, say, Apple Inc.? So let's see whether it is able to answer or not. And see this one, since the information is not available in the knowledge base, it is responding with our not found option. Okay. And here, if I ask, say, who is your CEO? So now I didn't provide any information about the CEO of the company, right? So let's see what it responds. See, there also it is giving the information that it is not able to find the answer within the knowledge that we have provided. Okay, so this is how we'll be able to provide your own custom knowledge to our chatbot. Okay, so now we know how to create a chatbot, how to interact with the end user with the chatbot. Then we also know how we can connect intelligence to the chatbot. Then we also saw how we can provide customized intelligence based on the business and only allowing the chatbot to work within that particular knowledge. This is a very simple knowledge that I provided, right? Just 3 lines of code. Now, what you need to do is when you provide custom knowledge, what you have to do is you have to structure the knowledge properly. So here I have a sample knowledge base that I'll be using to expand the knowledge of my custom chatbot. And here you can see, here I have added information about one dental clinic. So this is the dental clinic knowledge base that I'm going to use. And this is general information about the organization, about the clinic, then the doctors who are available in the clinic, then what are the different services and prices for the different services and prices that are offered by the clinic. And then you can also add additional questions as FAQs and any value added information. So make sure that you structure your knowledge base in such a way that it will be easy for the chatbot to collect the information from that knowledge base. So properly structuring will also help you when it comes to maintaining the knowledge base. So always try to maintain somewhat similar to this one. So I'm going to use this particular knowledge base for my chatbot. Okay, so now let me go back to my workflow. And here I'll go back to the content section. I'll go to the knowledge section. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the data source. So here you see I'm going to use the URL option. And here I can paste the URL that I have copied. You can add multiple URLs also in there. And you see this refresh rate. So this is very important because see, when you add a URL, if it is a URL which you are not going to change frequently, then a refresh rate is not important. But if it is a URL which you are regularly updating, then make sure that you use a refresh rate so that it will refresh the knowledge base. So whenever you make some change within a day, it will refresh if you provide the refresh rate option as daily. So that is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to import that. And here I don't want the previous information. So I'm going to delete that. So previous knowledge I'm deleting, I'm just adding this particular URL. And after adding any knowledge base, if you want to check whether it is working or whether it is able to use the knowledge base or not, you can use this preview option. So if you click on preview, you will be able to get information like say how to contact you. So now this will be querying the knowledge base, and you can see this one. This is the contact information of the custom ABC dental clinic, the dummy company information that I provided. Okay, so this knowledge base is working. Again, remember, if you want to use this knowledge base, before you can use it, you have to publish it. So let's go ahead and publish this particular knowledge base. So now this is publishing. Okay, good. So now let me just refresh the page. I'll restart my chat. Okay, now let me ask some information. Say how to contact you, the same information that I asked. Okay, see, it is providing me with the details, how to contact you. And if I ask like, say, who are the doctors available? So it is now looking for the doctors available and it is giving me a list of doctors. Can we have multiple knowledge base URLs added? Yes, we can have multiple knowledge base URLs added. And here, if you look at the knowledge, and when you add the data source, you can add multiple URLs like this, or when you add the URL itself, see, you can add one URL per line. So n number of URLs you will be able to provide. And if you use the sitemap option, that is one useful thing. See, when you click the sitemap option, if you provide the sitemap URL, then it will use all the URL that are there in the sitemap as the data source. So that also is an efficient functionality that you have available. Do we need to know grammatically correct knowledge base? No. That is another advantage of having AI at your fingertips. So even if there is some grammatical mistake, the AI will automatically correct it. Of course, you need to ensure that the critical information like the email address or phone number, etc., there shouldn't be any mistake, but grammatically errors, it will be able to take care of. It won't be an issue at all. Okay. So this is how you will be able to have a custom chatbot specific to your business, catering to whatever the end user wants to know about your business. So this is a specific chatbot which will act like an AI assistant. So anyone who is coming to your website now will be provided with the service about your organization so that they can be informed of what they want to know. Clear? So this is how you can have a custom chatbot with custom knowledge base. Okay. So I hope now it is clear how to create chatbot, how to construct your chatbot at different stages, how to add intelligence, how to add knowledge base, how to add, say, specific intelligence, how to prevent any other question being asked, etc. So now we can extend this. See, what I showed you is just the tip of the iceberg. So we can extend it. So we can extend it to provide more functionality. Like, say, we can have a system where user will be able to ask information, or user will be able to click a button, or you can provide a button so that user can click the button if they want to perform some operation, etc. So that is what we'll see. So let me just open one template that I have created. But before that, let me show you one more thing. See, if you want to, say, download the template that you have created or the agent that you have created, what you can do is you can go to the agent section, click on these three dots, and you will be able to download the VF file. Similarly, if you want to import a particular agent, all you need to do is you see this option, import. So this section you can click and you will be able to import the VF file. And Schogini provides you with a service using which you will be able to generate custom VF file or automate the creation of VF file, which later on Sri will be able to show us. So let me just quickly show you some of the templates that I have created that is available as part of the Schogini's custom backend service. So let me just open this one. So here, this is a custom chatbot which contains the knowledge base, the same one that I have used in our example. And here, if I go to the workflow, let me just edit the workflow. So here, this is the thing. So I'm setting one company, one variable called company. And in this one, it will display the welcome message based on that particular company information that I provide. So this is customizable templates that I am providing. And see this one here, I am providing an option for the user to select if they want to book appointment or if they want to click a button. So instead of them typing, they can click and go to that particular path. Okay, and if they don't want to book an appointment, then the query will be similar to communicating with the knowledge base. Okay, and here what we have done is we have integrated a system where the response, whether the AI is able to understand or whether the AI is able to find the answer to the user query in the custom knowledge base or not. So based on that, we have added a system so that we will maintain a log of all the user interaction. What is the advantage of this? See, one major disadvantage of using the chatbot is that if customer interacts with it, we will not have any idea about what the customer discussed about or what the customer talked about and what are the things that they were able to get the answers to and what are the things that they were not able to get the answers to. So in order to solve the issue, we developed a system using which we log all the query and we also specify the status, whether it is a success or a failure. So that is the system that you are seeing here. This is for the success and this is for the failure part. So we are logging that information. And here, this is the book appointment path. Here, in order to book appointment, we are asking for certain information like the name, email, phone number, doctor's name, date, and the time slot. And once we get the response from the user, we'll be also sending that information to our log so that we'll keep that information secure. And then we are separating that information. We are separating the different entities from that, like name, email, phone number, etc. After that, we'll display a confirmation message. And once they confirm, we can add a system where it will generate a log. Like it will say, okay, you can even configure it to send an email to you, so that, okay, a customer wants to communicate with you, or customer wants to talk to you, and these are the information of the customer. So you can give a call. Your team member can give a call to the customer once they get the email, etc. So those kind of systems you will be able to set up. So this is such a system, and this is without a token. Like we'll see how we can generate a token, like how to have a booking system with token, with appointment, etc. But this is without a token. Okay, so now let's go ahead and use this. So I'm going to publish this. So I'll use the same template that I used earlier. Only thing is the chatbot code, I'll replace it with the new chatbot code. So that is what I'm going to do. So this is a sample system without any token. So I'm going to click on this embed widget. It will take me to the installation section. So I have the code available, and here let me just update this particular code. So I'll just replace this code with the new one. So I'll save this. And now if I go here and refresh, you can see the color has changed, and see, this is now dental clinic. So this is the new chatbot that we have created, and see this book appointment. So this is the button that they have available. If they want, they can do that. So if I say, who are the doctors available, you'll be able to see the response from the AI, from the chatbot. We'll be able to see the doctors that are available. So let me just check whether it is trained or not. 1 minute. So let me just go to this one. And here, okay, so let me just train this as well. So training the model also is required. So now this is training the model. And after that, you need to publish it once again. Okay, so now training is complete. Let me just publish it once again. Okay, so now it is published. So now here you can see it is giving the response. See, it is able to get the doctor information. Now if I click book appointment, it will be able to ask, it will ask the information like email, phone number, doctor's name, etc. So let me just give some information. Say I am Abhi, email is demo@abhi.com, phone say 989899, and I'll give some dummy phone number. Then I'll give the doctor name as say Dr. Ananya. Then time slot say October 11 2 p.m. Okay, let me just give this information. So now what it will do is, it will see, even though I gave the phone number as the name as FPHONT, it is able to easily identify. That is the advantage of having intelligence, right? So it is able to identify the information, and it is able to extract those entities. See this one? And here, if I am okay with it, I'll be able to type yes, and it will give one message stating that my booking request is recorded, and the team will contact us. So this is how you can have a system, and all these informations are logged, and Sri will show you later on where we'll be able to see how to see the log, etc. Okay, so this is how you will be able to have a system with proper logging, so that you don't miss anything from your end user, and you'll be able to add any missing knowledge also if you want. If there is any missing information, you can constantly update your knowledge base so that your knowledge base is up to date. Okay, now next what we are going to do is we are going to see another template with token. See, having a system with just the log is one thing. Having a system which will book the appointment automatically and provide a token as confirmation to the end user is another thing. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to see, and this particular system is using a Dockerized token system. So this is the functionality is same, only the URL will be different based on the Dockerized token system that we have developed. And Sri will tell you the advantage of having a Dockerized system, etc. A bit later on. So let me just do one thing. Let me just first run this. So let me just go. Okay, there is no training required. So let me just publish this. So again, I need to use the updated chatbot embed code because this is a different agent, right? So I need to do that. So let me just publish this real quick. Okay, so now I'll click on embed. So I'll copy this one. So I'm going to now update this particular embed code. So I'll save this one. Now let me just go ahead and refresh the page. So let me just refresh the page. Okay, so now it is coming. So here, let me just ask some questions like, who is your CEO? Let's see whether it is able to give the response. Okay, it is not, that information is not available. Now let me ask like, uh, what is the cost of, say, teeth whitening? So this information should be there in the database, in the knowledge base, see 5,000 per session. So if you look at the database, you will be able to see this one, teeth whitening, price is 5,000 per session. Like this, you will be able to see. Now let me just go ahead and click book an appointment. So now here in this particular system, the logging also is in a Docker-based environment, in a Docker-based system. So I'm going to add the information. So I am say I'm give the name as a Docker API so that we'll be able to distinguish it. So email is say docker@ say api.com. Then phone say 2323. Yeah. So I'll give some dummy phone number. Then I'll use the doctor as say Dr. Priya, and I'll give the time slot as say October 14, 4 p.m. Okay. Sorry, this should be October. Let's see whether it is able to identify it or not. See, it is able to detect that. Okay, so now it is giving the information. If I am okay, I'll just give the confirmation. So I'm just going to give the confirmation and see this one. Now this system is intelligent enough to book my appointment and give me a token. And this token, using the token, I'll be able to visit the clinic and I'll be able to have my appointment. Okay, so we have added more intelligence and a sophisticated system where we'll be able to have an automated booking system. Okay, so now we saw the chatbot working with this one. So now let's go to Sri, and Sri would be showing you how the backend or what is the backend look like. Okay, so let's go to Sri. Sri, over to you. Let me just stop the share.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Abhi. That was wonderful. Now let's move on to the next thing that we can do to a chatbot. Like what Abhijit has shown is how we can build a chatbot easily using no-code mechanism, no-code platforms like Voiceflow. Voiceflow is a no-code platform where without coding, you can build a chatbot, add the custom knowledge, and make it a fully functional chatbot for your end user. But that is not enough. When you install such a chatbot, that is what most of the automation guys do. You install and then forget about it. You don't know what questions are being answered. You don't know what questions are not being answered. So you cannot monitor the interaction so that you can improve the knowledge. So first thing that we need is Abhijit has already shown you how we can log the interaction. We will see where such logs are available. Secondly, Abhijit has shown you how we can confirm the receipt of user information by giving them a token to confirm the booking. See, there is a question heard about low code as well. So I mentioned about no code. There is a thing called code, low code, and no code. Voice flow, what we have seen so far is no code. There is no coding involved. And low code is mixing of no code and low code, minimal coding to do certain things. So that is what we are going to show now, where we add some extra coding endpoints or applications using which we can receive the interaction as a log and store it somewhere, and also generate a unique token to the end user. So let me first share my screen. So now here, Abhijit has mentioned about the logging. I'm going to show you two distinct applications. One is a very easy to use interface, which we are giving free to our workshop participants, which you can easily host on your own hosting machines. We also offer free hosted solution for our participants, which will look like this, where you browse an endpoint with a unique secret key, and you get all the questions that the customer has asked. So in your case, see, this is here. See here, booking, your booking is confirmed, your booking number is so and so. I am Docker Abhi. This was the name that Abhijit has used when he was demonstrating the booking system. So here you have a cryptic but complete information about the customer interaction. Now, based on the end user need, we can format it in a better way, and you also can easily use ChatGPT to format the way you want. The complicated part is to making sure that the interactions reach these applications. So actually, you don't need much of a coding knowledge, but because these days coding is done by ChatGPT type of large language model, so you can see the initial application we are giving it free to workshop participants. You can extend it the way you want, customize it the way you want by with the help of ChatGPT. So let's first see the log. So this is the log. So every interaction gets logged. Clear? But that is not enough. We are also offering a booking system, right? So here we have the booking system where, see, the most recent booking uh, for Docker Abhi, IM2R was the token given, and the booking details captured are here. So you have a very nice interface where you have all the bookings available. Now you can add additional features that you want or your customer wants to make the booking page look still better. So this is the offer that we are giving to our participants. You get a logging system and you get a token-based booking system, which you can easily add to your voice flow-based chatbot. Clear? Okay. So let's now uh, understand what happens when you have multiple customers. You know, even though voice flow, what Abhijit demonstrated, looks simple, it can take days or weeks to ensure that it runs smoothly. So we have taken time to ensure that we have a robust, time-tested chatbot mechanism with knowledge base and booking system, etc. But when you do that for one customer, if it takes that long, what will happen to second customer? You don't need to spend that much time, but still you will need to spend 2 or 3 days to ensure that everything is customized for the second customer. But what happens when you get your third, fourth, fifth, or 10th or 20th customer? You will be completely busy making these no code applications. So no code, though for prototyping it's easy, it is not easy to handle hundreds of customers. So that is a big problem, because information is not in a source code where you can easily copy and paste. You have to drag and drop and build your flow and adapt the, Abhijit showed you customizing the logo, color, the etc. So it can be a nightmare when you want to handle several customers, correct? So we have made a mechanism in our advanced backend system, which I'm going to show you here. Okay, so this is an advanced chatbot mechanism. Let me just log in. Okay, so this is an advanced backend which we give our customers, where we have like bookings and tokens, like how we have seen in our Dockerized system. We also have the log mechanism where we also highlight the status of the log, whether it is failed interaction or successfully handled interaction. So little more user-friendly logging mechanism. And if you click here, we will also see the cryptic uh, interaction the customer had with the chatbot. Okay, so we have bookings, we have the logging mechanism. We also have the knowledge base, where you have a very nice, easy to update mechanism, where you can update the knowledge base easily. So you don't need to log into noise flow, Voiceflow, etc. In this backend itself, you can update. So you can look at the failed replied question and see what questions failed, and look at the log and accordingly update the knowledge base. Okay, what if I want to load the URL based knowledge base in this? Yes, in this knowledge base, at the end, you can also provide the URLs. Apart from this knowledge that we have pasted here, if you have additional website URLs that contain relevant, pertinent information for the chatbot, you can paste all those URLs in here. Okay. And once you save, you get this long URL. This is what we paste this. Okay. So you can additional URLs, you can mention like this, load URL. Okay. And give your uh, give your URL here. So this way, additional URLs can be provided in this, and then you can save it, and you get a URL to your entire knowledge here, which you can paste it in your voice flow, like Habijit has shown you. Okay, so now we have a little more time where we will see something very, very important. Okay, so one is adding a chatbot code here. You get to experience the chatbot in this page itself, so you can quickly test it. But most interesting and time-saving thing that we have created is, which is very unique, is, Abhijit has shown you how you can download your chatbot design as a VF text file by exporting it. That text file will have 10, 20 fields which are relevant for that customer. When if you have 100 customers, each of those customer will have unique business relevant sentences which you may want to edit in the chatbot. So we have a mechanism by which you can easily, with the click of a button, you can download an advanced chatbot specific for this company. So you click here, and it will create a customized voice flow file which you can click and download, and you can easily import that into your voice flow. So you can create 100 unique customer chatbots in a day, less than a day. So this saves a tremendous amount of trouble in troubleshooting, and you will in finding errors and ensuring that each customer's information is unique. Now, how do we set these information? In the account section, we have set all the values, like Abhijit has showed the logo information, avatar, theme color, description, all the messages. Make sure that you reach the clinic 10 minutes before the appointment. So these messages are specific for this specific company. Supposing this customer is not a clinic, you may have to edit this, or you may have to change the entire sentence applicable for that specific customer. So this way, you have a single place where your customer or you as an automation agency can keep your customer information up to date here and generate the voice flow design. So this saves tremendous amount of trouble, uh, tremendous amount of debugging effort needed to fix designs. And in case if you find a better base design, or you found a way by which you can optimize your voice flow design, you can quickly change the base template and update all your customers in less than a day. So that saves tremendous amount of trouble in customizing chatbot for individual customers. Okay, so Abhijit, anything else you want me to add in this explanation?
No, this is really good. Like Sri mentioned, this is a very, very powerful tool so that like when you're working with multiple customers, the main issue is starting with a basic system from which or on top of which you want to work on, right? So that is one thing you need to remember. Another thing is in when it comes to voice flow, if you import a particular VF file or an agent, the knowledge base, even though it is there in the VF file, it will not be added automatically. So you may have to add the knowledge base separately, but that anyway is a must when you are working with different organizations. That is the only thing that I would like to add to this.
Yes. So now what this saves is, you remember how Abhijit started the design? There was just a start button. Then you have to drag and drop all the blocks, then connect those blocks and then attach the knowledge base, and then connect the logging endpoint, connect the booking system. These things can take tremendous amount of time and things can go wrong. So you should have a time tested design and then use a mechanism like this to update your knowledge base. Now, one thing I want to tell you is this comes with a very small subscription fee. But if you don't want this, you can always use our Dockerized application that is available free of cost. The Docker image is available, a hosted solution is available, and we also offer this mechanism, hosted Docker mechanism, free for 3 months. Another wonderful thing that we have added to our customer is, I just want to share, supposing you don't want to subscribe to our voice flow chatbot customization mechanism, what you can do is you can create a company.txt file like this for each company, each client, and you on the left side you can put some fixed token values which are present in the voice flow file, and on the right side you can put the company specific values, and then run a command like this using our custom Docker image, which is also available for you free, where you provide the token replacement for the specific company, and also you provide the downloaded voice flow design which you have designed and downloaded, and then when you press, your design will be customized for that specific company. So you can use this type of command line mechanism also to customize your company specific design. So quickly you can design as many chatbots that you need to fulfill your customer needs. Yes, so this one has no UI. Okay, so then finally, what we want to add is, in case if you don't want to use voice flow, etc., we also build completely coded chatbot solution and hosted chatbot solution, which you can use, which we can get it created through us, and we offer the entire mechanism and fully working chatbot. That is one thing. Secondly, voice flow based chatbot also we offer as a solution to our customers. So you don't even need to do anything. You just need to connect your customer with us, and we will ensure that the chatbot is designed to their satisfaction, and with the backend, everything integrated. So that solution also is available. And one thing, please feel absolutely free to contact us anytime and join the community so that you can raise your questions and we can respond to your questions in 24 hours. Okay, so now there is a question that what are the advantages of a custom chatbot? See, the advantages is that we are not relying on any third party service provider. See, now everything is cloud based, right? But cloud based means if there is a third party involved, there is a question mark, because these days many companies come and go. So we need to, the only thing that we can rely is basic cloud providers like Amazon AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google Compute Cloud. They are the basic cloud providers, and then you host your application directly on top of it. Then you can hope to get maximum reliability. So hosted applications will have an edge because you are not relying on anything uh, outside the basic cloud provider. So you have complete control over your application.
Like Sri mentioned, please join the community because there are a lot of like-minded people who are interested in automation and all. So we'll be able to learn together. And also, we have a YouTube channel where we regularly add videos on how to create such systems, etc. And we'll be conducting a lot of webinars on these technologies, like exclusive technologies that we are actually using. So please stay tuned so that you don't miss out on anything.
Yeah, and another thing, such a short, concise workshop you won't find anywhere. End-to-end practical workshop, which also gives a SaaS endpoint accessible to the participant, you won't find anywhere. So all our workshops come with such practically useful content. So please join our other workshops. Shogini.com/workshop is our website where we are listing all our workshops. You can click the topic that you are interested in and join us. Okay. So please feel free to raise your questions after the workshop through the community, or you can directly email us. Normally, we get back to all queries within 24 hours. We love to help our community members. Okay, so thank you all for your time. Wish you the very best.
Exactly. Thanks. Thanks, Sri. So all the best with your journey. Okay. Thank you.